What's really good? Welcome back to another Friday Night Live, the Sanchez Show. We are the opinionated ones. As you can see, two-thirds of the group is here. Vernon Brown, Lee, Eric Sanchez. Will Gordon will be joining me shortly. On cue, Vern. Will just text me. We were just talking about it off air. We got a lot to get into tonight, man. We got the comment section going crazy. Obviously, we got some big NFL injuries we got to talk about. We got the Week 11 slate, and we got some more in-season basketball, in-season tournament play that we got to get into. So before we get started, though, let me check in real quick. Vernon Brownlee, my brother, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. For the people that always been hating and asking why am I late, look at me. I'm here, baby. I'm here bright and early.
Yes, sir.
Here Friday night. It's a good place to be.
We got a lot to get into. Like I said, the comment section is on fire right now.
Yeah, I
We're
see.
gonna start. Shout out to Kyrie Thompson. He the first one again. I think he was first last week as well. So let's start right there. Top news. Joe Burrow, not Jim Burrow, but Joe Burrow, out for the season. What are your thoughts? Hope the other two fellas on time tonight. You already see how it starts out, Vern. Vern was 15 minutes early tonight, guys. Vern had already texted me earlier today. He said, I'll be ready at 8:50. At 8:45, he had already texted me, said, I'm ready to go. We were just waiting for 9 o'clock to get started. But Vern, I'm gonna let you start.
Yeah, so first of all, it's personal with me because I didn't know about the injury. And I bet him on FanDuel with the 200 plus because every game that's a lot. So I have a little issue there. However, the injury is, it just really just puts the season to bed for the Bengals. It kind of started off a little rough. I guess they got a little hope, and now it's just all over. I don't even know how long it's been lingering because the reports were saying that, he wasn't on the injury report. And then Joe Burrow says, oh, I was just wearing a compression sleeve because when things get, when you start flying high altitude, that things start swelling up. So I think the NFL has, I don't say they have a problem, but the NFL definitely needs to make sure the injury reports and things are accurate and correct, not just for people like myself, but also to give the teams the proper information prior to playing. I was hearing that, there could be fines or up to losing a draft pick. So without Joe Burrow, the Bengals season is over. They need to just lose as many games as possible and hope that there's a position that they can move up and possibly get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Will Gordon in as well because I want to get Will's thoughts on it. Will, let me know if you can hear us.
What they do, baby?
There we go. Will, first, how you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How you guys doing? I see the counselors in the building. My man E in the building. Y'all good?
We're amazing tonight. How you feeling though? You sipping tonight or you chilling tonight?
I could always do whatever. I can clink clink. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Did,
something a
did
little.
you already clink clink or you
I got a
clink
little
clinking
something.
or nothing?
Nah, we ain't clink yet. I got a little something there.
Oh man, so let me go ahead and pull one up.
Hey, after this,
I'm gonna go ahead and clink clink with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the one in.
All right, we'll get the one to get the night started. We got a lot of questions tonight. Comment section was going crazy already.
Clink clink.
Clink. And Kyrie was
Clink
the first
clink for
question
my
of the
guy.
night. You ready for this one?
All right. What we on?
Joe Burrow out for the season. What's your thoughts?
That's huge, man. For that division, that's a big deal because that was like arguably the most competitive division of the league. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got Joe Burrow going out, man, that changes the whole. Like that changes everything of the division, especially like even individually. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you have a quarterback at that level that does that much for so many individual guys, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for them. And then when you look at that division, like you you had them being competitive. You had Pittsburgh always being competitive with what's my coach in Pittsburgh?
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin, yeah.
Yeah, coach.
But when you got a team coached by Tomlin every year, they competitive. And then this year the Browns were looking solid too. But now they lose Deshaun Watson as well.
We're gonna get to that one in a
You know
second
what I'm
too.
saying? Like it's crazy what's going on in that division right now. And because they went from like pretty much the most competitive division to now with these injuries to like the least competitive division.
Yeah. So I still think they're the most competitive division. Everybody's got a winning record. In terms of Joe Burrow, I'll start with what you mentioned, Vernon. Is true. The NFL is already investigating why the Bengals didn't have him on the injury report because that video surfaced on Twitter of him getting off the team bus with that brace on his wrist already. So there was some sort of injury that was never reported by the league, which obviously affected gambling, which affected fantasy, which affected the game, obviously, because Joe Burrow couldn't get through the first half of that game. So that's got to be looked into. In terms of their season, it's over. They're sitting at 5-5. The last 7 games of their season are all against teams that either are 500 or have a winning record. There are no cupcakes on their schedule. The weakest team on that schedule is probably the Colts. The Colts are 5-5. They also have Pittsburgh, who's 5-5, but they got games against the Jags. They got games against the Browns still on there. So I think their season's done. With a backup quarterback, I don't see them winning 4 out of those 7 games to possibly get to 9 wins and make the playoffs. So I think that's done. In terms
Who
of
is backup?
the kid Browning who came in yesterday, I don't think he had ever had a snap before yesterday as well.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about this, I think, for Cincinnati is similar to like what we're seeing with Buffalo. I know we're gonna get to Buffalo later. It shows you how quickly your window can start to close in the NFL. Because a couple years ago, Cincinnati was in the Super Bowl, and we thought, they're gonna consistently make runs. Last year, they lose in the AFC Championship game. You expect them to come back this year and make runs. And then Joe Burrow's been hurt all season. And they're going to have some difficult decisions to make contract-wise because T. Higgins is expected to make big money this offseason. Right? Joe Mixon had to rework his deal to fit under the cap for them. This team could look very different next year with all the money that Joe Burrow's about to get and with the other guys that they're going to end up losing. They had already lost Jesse Bates, who's a big part of their defense. So for the Bengals, I think long-term, that's where it really gets interesting. This window might start closing a lot faster than we realize. Joe Burrow's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But if you don't have the talent around him, if you guys can't stay healthy, then things start to change. And I think this is the first sign of things starting to change with the Bengals. Maybe they're not as great as we once thought.
And Joe Burrow, he's been injured a couple times, right?
Well, he came into the season with the calf. That was the first thing. And now he's got the wrist. So he hasn't been healthy all year. It's been a struggle all season for him to stay healthy.
And the best the best ability is the availability. And if you're not there, you know what I mean, and you're the focal point of the team, and you can't be there, on a regular basis, then that's a problem. Especially in a division that's as competitive as the AFC East is.
AFC
Like
East.
when you look at the Ravens.
AFC North.
I mean, my bad. Yeah, the AFC North. When you look at the Ravens, when you look at the Browns, what they've been able to put together lately, and Pittsburgh has always been there. Like you need to be there. What's that?
They're looking for the Will Fader meet already. They asked for the Fader meet already. We working on that. Will,
What is it?
Will, since you're talking about the division, though, obviously we know Deshaun's injury in this situation. Which one of these is worse? Because even though Joe Burrow was playing better, the Deshaun injury might be worse because the Browns, with that defense, have a legitimate chance to really contend as well.
But the money they paying him
Yeah,
is man, that's extreme. He's getting like 270 something guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? That's that will hamstring you from what you want to do going forward, especially if he's going to be injured. You know what I'm saying? So like if he's going to be there, then you be like, all right, cool. But with him not even being there, and you starting dudes with their names are like initials, you know what I'm saying?
they
It's
going back to
like
the kid Dorian Thompson now. They back to Dorian Thompson.
yo, that's what you at now. When you're giving up 270 some million to Deshaun, like man, I mean, you want to see the dude succeed and be successful in the league, but this is the most Brown shit ever. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Browns do. You know what I'm saying? This is the most Brown shit ever.
Vern, what do
They
you think
they'll
with Deshaun?
What about Deshaun?
Yeah,
I mean, his money disaster was a dumb trade in the beginning. It's a dumb trade then, dumb trade now. $60-something million was the cap the next 3 years. Deshaun Watson was never a winner. Even his best, I guess, statistical season in Houston led them to a 4-12 record. I mean, getting exactly what they deserve.
let's keep going down the questions, man. Ron wants to know: do bigger issues lie ahead between Buffalo and Stephon Diggs? Will, go ahead, man.
uh I kind of feel like that situation is kind of like it's more of a like an attitude kind of thing. Like if you don't want to be there, then bounce. And I think the organization should make that happen. Like because he clearly does not want to be there. So either move him or make him shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point you still a professional football team. You know what I'm saying? And I get the beef between the two or whatever, but that's not professional football. Like you either gotta shut up and play, or the team has to move you. I think they'd be better off, well, for their situation, they'd be better off moving them. But for their situation as a team, they gotta keep him. You know what I'm saying? Like he they the quarterback Allen, he wasn't really doing much until Diggs got there. You know what I'm saying? Like when Diggs got there, that's when stuff started to happen. But with them having a defensive coach and Josh was McDermott,
With Sean McDermott,
they
yeah, as the defense, as the
Sean
coach.
McDermott,
Yep.
yeah, they're not progressive offensively. They don't do anything to to work for his skills. And for him it's got to be very, very frustrating. And for the team and Josh Allen, they put everything in Josh Allen's lap and try to make him make plays or whatever. But that's not the best way to, like, they need an offense that that shines. You know what I mean? That shows him what he can do. Because Diggs is one of the best receivers in this league, and he got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? He from Maryland. You know what I'm saying?
I knew that part was coming. You
Hey,
can't
you
wait to
knew,
throw that in there.
you
He's from
knew, you
Maryland.
already knew, man. He from Maryland, man. So you know, we got that dog in us, man. But that's not really what's being showcased in Buffalo. It's kind of like they almost want to run the ball more than they want to throw the ball,
I,
and I don't
let
think
let
that's a better uh,
let Vern get
situation for
let
them.
let Vern get on this topic right here.
Yeah,
Vern, what's your thought?
Will said it all. I mean, we ain't gonna let nobody else talk tonight. You know, he was very long winded tonight. I'm gonna let him
Go ahead, counselor. Go ahead, counselor. Go ahead, counselor.
go ahead. We can move to the next topic here. We got
No. We got. I want to say a couple things though because
yeah.
I do think Will make some valid points in terms of Josh Allen's career didn't take off till Stephon Diggs got there. I agree with that. Buffalo is very limited in offensive resources, right? They don't have a strong running game. They don't really have many other weapons. It is Stephon Diggs. I don't view this as a beef between them. I think this is more about Stephon Diggs. To me, he's coming across as pouty. He's upset and he's liking tweets from his brother about get Steph out of there and all these things. Stephon Diggs has been targeted 102 times in 10 games. He's getting 10 pass attempts thrown his way every game. I don't know how many more times you want the quarterback to throw your way. In comparison to everybody else and every other receiver on that team, Stephon Diggs has 102 targets. The next closest guy is Gabe Davis with 55. Like he's got 50 more targets than the next closest guy on the team. He's got 40 more receptions than the next closest guy on the team. Now, is it a perfect scenario? No, because Will, I do agree with you. Sean McDermott, who's a defensive-minded coach, I think has a lot of limitations. They've already fired Ken Dorsey, who's the offensive coordinator. So now they're about to be on their third offensive coordinator to work with Allen and Diggs. So he knows that there's some issues that they need to fix there. But if you're Stephon Diggs, I don't know how much more you want him to force feed you the ball already. Like defenses know that you are the primary target. Defenses know that the Bills can't run the ball. So they're just sitting in these shell defenses and coverages where somebody over the top and not allowing Diggs to make the big play. At the end of the day, if you're getting 10 targets a game, how many more times does the quarterback need to throw to you for you to be happy? And let's not forget, the reason he left Minnesota was for the same thing. He was upset he wasn't getting enough targets in Minnesota, even though he was the most targeted receiver while Kirk Cousins was there with him. So it sounds a lot of the same issues that he had in Minnesota. He's unhappy. Now he's throwing the quarterback under the bus a little bit and making it seem like the quarterback isn't living up to what they need him to do. I think Buffalo as a whole is flawed. They don't run the ball well. They ask Josh Allen to do too many things, and he's a gunslinger. He's not the guy. Sorry, Vern. Vern, you thought he was on the level of Patrick Mahomes. I didn't forget that you made that comment a couple years ago. He's not that guy. But at the same time, I don't know what else Diggs wants.
Brian Daboll gonna be back with Buffalo next year. Don't worry.
Possibly. They might be reuniting. Let's keep it going. Ron wants to know how we did on the picks last week. So Will got disconnected last week, so we didn't get Will's picks. But Vern, some of the good picks that we hit on last week. We both had. Well, actually, I had the Colts. You had the Pats. What else? We
had to pass the cover. Yeah,
you had to pass the cover. Yeah. We both had Minnesota last week. That helped. We both had who else? We both had last week. We both had the Browns last week to cover, which they did. We both had Dallas, obviously, as a 401k pick of the week. And that might have been the easiest 401k pick of the week of the season. That might have been the easiest one. What other ones we had last week? We both, the big one I thought that we probably should get more credit for. We were early on Denver to not only cover on Monday night, we thought they could win that game because of how bad Buffalo had been playing. So those were some of the highlights. Some of the lowlights, I'm gonna get to it. Vern, you had the Commanders as your upset pick of the week last week against Seattle.
Yeah, our defense, man.
I'm trying to see what were we off on that. We were split on the Niners-Jags game. We weren't sure what to make there. I had San Fran, you had the Jags. We were wrong there. We were wrong about the Titans. We thought the Titans were going to be able to go to Tampa and compete. They did not. And Pittsburgh. You got the Pittsburgh. You had didn't you? I think you and I both had Pittsburgh with the 3.5 last week.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We had 3, I thought, when we started.
The only one that was a bad loss for us last week was the Cincinnati. We both liked Cincinnati last week at 6.5 against the Texans. CJ Stroud continues to impress.
Yo, can we talk about CJ Stroud for a minute?
Absolutely.
Like,
I was going to ask you, what's up? What's on your mind about CJ?
yo, that kid is balling. And like everybody wants to shit on Ohio State quarterbacks. CJ Stroud has shown that he's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that guy. He's shown himself to be a legit NFL quarterback in his first season coming from Ohio State. That's just crazy to me. Like I just feel like we need to shout him out and recognize him as a dude that's balling at the professional level.
Yeah, CJ Stroud has been amazing. CJ Stroud is obviously the offensive rookie of the year. I think D'Amico Ryan should be head coach of the year for the job that he's done with that roster because there isn't much talent there. And I mean, they drafted Will Anderson. Will Anderson hasn't had the impact they thought he was going to have. But DJ Stingley, who was their top corner from last year, missed time this year, and that defense still was very good. So I think D'Amico Ryan's head coach of the year. What you think, Vern?
Head coach of the year is tough. I would still have to give it to Tomlin right now. But I can see the angle there. What they say, if you draft a quarterback, you as a GM and head coach are always safe. So it seems like they hit on the quarterback for right now. He's not showing any signs that this is a flash in the pan. It seems like, of course, he is going to have rough games. Maybe he might have a sophomore slump, but it looks like he has all the tools to be, a future top 10 quarterback in the league, which is really all you can ask for from a top pick like that.
That's a fact. Everybody wants to know Warriors Timberwolves. So we got a couple questions. I'm gonna combine them in here. Warriors T-Wolves fight. First off, Draymond is gone for 5 games. Okay, a lot of people praising Green for defending his teammate who got grabbed. Why no one says Clay started it all first? That one, and I want to combine that one, another one. A-Love had put one in here as well. Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on Draymond putting Rudy in the chokehold? Vern, go ahead, start that one off.
Yo, Draymond Green should have been gone for a quarter of the season. You know what's so crazy? I actually used this Draymond Green during my class when I was teaching a professor. It was a cool little knowledge he was able to use. So I do shout out for that. I was able to connect to his students. But no, absolutely for a quarter of the season. And the reason why I say that is until he actually suffers some serious consequences, his behavior is going to continue. And what's going to happen is something's going to happen in which a player is going to get seriously injured. And that player is going to be out. And people are going to say, why didn't Adam Silver take aggressive action up front? Like he had him in a chokehold for a quick minute. It wasn't like a quick long. It was what, at least 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. He should
about the amount of time that Melvin had Baby Boy in a chokehold on a recliner.
all I'm saying is this: he should be gone for a quarter of the season for sure. Easy. Because I think what would happen
quarter of the season,
that's crazy.
Because the Warriors the Warriors have not taken upon themselves to get his attitude control. No one on the staff at all. Everyone thinks, oh, this is just Draymond Green. But like I said, what's going to happen is someone's going to get seriously injured, and all we're going to say is every single time was a slap on the wrist. 1 game here, 2 games here, 3 games there. So I think a quarter of a season suspension is definitely warranted in a situation like this.
I don't know though. Quarter of the season, you're talking 20
quarter
games.
of the season. So you're talking about
20 games.
Yes, correct.
20 games.
Correct. I want
the
impact of this. I want the league needs to send a message to the Warriors and say, look, over the past, since Draymond Green's been in the league, y'all have not reeled in his behavior. So this is what we're going to do. 20 games, the next time he does something else, we're going to increase it because you got to control his behavior. You got to. When he undercuts someone and they get paralyzed, no one's going to be, oh, Damn, we should have talked about that earlier.
When did that happen?
Yeah, I was about to say it's never been a situation where he's
Yeah.
almost paralyzed somebody.
We know it's going to happen. No one wants to be proactive. We know it's going to happen. And when it happens, everybody's going to be like, "Oh, well, we didn't."
There have been bigger
It should be
things that's happened, I think,
It's not about the one incident.
with less.
It's not about the one incident. It's about his conduct as a whole.
All right, but hold on. So
You can't give Draymond Green 25 games
I can.
or 20 games for that. You just can't. There's no precedent. What's your precedent for that?
Draymond Green. What's the precedent for Draymond Green?
no, I agree.
I'm
with Will,
saying,
though.
what's your precedent for
'cause-
suspending him for 20-some games for choking somebody?
It's not about the choke.
What's it about?
You remember how the Donovan Sue stepped on that dude and he got like a crazy amount of games stepping on that
What
dude.
you talking about, Stu?
But you know
That's football. We talking about basketball, man.
pattern of behavior that has.
So let me ask you a question. So the next time that Chris Paul cheap shot somebody in the nuts, should he get 40 games then? Because there's a long history of him doing that.
Exactly.
I'm just because
Great point.
You should.
No matter how you feel about Draymond, a lot of Draymond's run-ins have been with officials and just talking back and forth with players. It ain't too many instances where you can roll the tape and he got somebody in a chokehold.
What? He's elevating. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But we got a lot of footage of Chris Paul nut punching guys.
I guarantee you, before the season's over,
Chris Paul, all he does is not punch.
I don't want to hear nothing from none of y'all.
I mean, listen, we don't have a dog in that fight. None of us are Warriors fans. So if he is suspended 20 games, it is what it is. But I just don't think.
But it's not warranted.
Yeah, I don't.
That's all I'm trying to say.
There's not enough history there to be like, yeah, without a doubt, this is who he has been, and he deserves 20-game suspension.
Yes.
A lot of his issues have been run-ins with officials, and he ain't putting officials in chokeholds.
No, if you do that, he'll be out.
Then that's a different conversation. That's a different one. Let's see right here. Let's get to one of our favorite topics lately. Clippers play Rockets at home tonight. They still haven't won with Harden. Russ says he will come off the bench. Will that help? Will Gordon? Will it?
Wait, what's the question? Clippers play Rockets.
Russ coming off the bench moving forward.
It's saying yes. That would definitely help.
Hold on, what?
Russell Westbrook? You talking about Russell Westbrook, right?
Yes.
That dude he's a Hall of Famer, man. And I think he can figure out how to make things work in the space that he's in. Like the disrespect for Russell Westbrook, I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it, bro. Russell Westbrook is a phenomenon. He's one of these dudes that once he's done playing, that's when well, I'm gonna say will because I already respect him, but that's when everybody else will respect him as a player is once he's done. Him coming off the bench for any team is a winning situation. So I'm good with it.
Vern, what you think?
Clippers are a bad team, bad chemistry. Westbrook is a very inefficient scorer, very inefficient player. Matter. Statistically, his numbers should improve, but it's not going to have any impact. Winning games, absolutely not. As long as you get James Harden on that team, nothing else matter.
I don't think Russ.
You don't like Russ? You don't like Russ on that team?
It's more about having James Harden still. It's
Yeah.
not as long as you got him, it don't matter what Russell Westbrook wants to do. It's just not.
I think. Listen, cool. Russ wants to come off the bench. I get it. It's fine. He's trying to help the team out, but that's not the issue with this team. The issue with this team is James Harden. The issue was we knew from jump that it was never going to work because the parts didn't fit. And now Russ going to the bench is just another way to try to accommodate James Harden and make him feel better about how shitty he's played. James Harden has shown nothing.
But wouldn't you say that's the better role for him?
It's the
It's
better
coming
role.
off the bench.
Yeah, but is this about him or is this about the team?
Yeah,
Because if this is truly about making it work for the Clippers, as I've said already a couple times, it's not going to work with these four guys playing together. Russ brings way too much to the table. I highlighted this on Sunday, right? When they lost last Sunday, everybody's numbers was shitty. Harden in the 32 minutes he played on last Sunday, I believe he was a minus 28.
Ooh.
In the 32 minutes that Russ played, Russ was a plus 12. So that speaks to everything that Russ
what I'm
does.
saying.
No, right. And I agree with you. I'm a fan of Russ as well. It speaks to the fact that even when Russ isn't an efficient shooter, he's a rebounder. He's a solid defender. He gets everybody else involved. He does other things. James Harden is very limited in what he brings to the table because if James Harden is not dribbling the air out of the ball, he brings nothing else. He's not going to be a spot-up shooter. He's not going to be a role guy. He's not going to be a defensive guy. So the issue with this team isn't Russ going to the bench. The issue with this team is that the parts do not fit. James Harden is not going to sacrifice any part of his quote-unquote system to make everybody else comfortable. So as long as James Harden's there, it's not going to work. Russ going to come off the bench and Russ still going to play well. We know that. Russ is not going to stop being an energy guy. We know that.
Yeah.
And in the last 6 minutes of the game, Ty Lue is still going to be with the tough decision of, I got to play my best guys. And Russ is one of my 5 best guys. So they're going to be on the court together for stretches where it's like, we got to have them because these are our best guys on the floor. I can't justify sending Russ in the last 6 minutes of the game when he brings so many other things to the table. We got to have him out there.
The problem is they got 4 guys that need the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a big issue.
That's super problem with them. So yeah, I don't think it helps to answer that question. Derek Thompson wants to know Anthony Edwards headed for an all NBA team. It's a bad man. Yes, he is. Vern, I'm gonna let you go first.
Didn't I say something about Anthony? I think we all agree that Anthony Edwards is gonna be.
Yeah, you also said some shit about women.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what I'm saying is I think we was all on the same page.
We can kumbaya on that one.
Yes, but we agree
that Anthony Edwards is gonna be like an MVP type candidate this year. I think we all agree with it. I mean, it's looking like first team at this point. I mean, if I'm wrong, someone correct me, but it's looking like first team.
I think early on it is looking like first team on NBA.
First team. I mean, I think his absolute floor this year is third team. You know, if something were to happen, whether that's an injury or he's going to go bad stretches, you know. But Anthony Edwards is showing he could.
Not last night though, or the night before.
I mean, it's not going to be every game, but overall, he's showing us that he has that competitive spirit and skill to make it a tough night, game in, game out. And I mean, he looks like he's a complete player. He has really improved. I mean, he always jokes around. People don't probably, I mean, at least me, I didn't really take him seriously coming to the league, but his game needs to be taken seriously. He needs to be taken seriously.
Some dudes got that dog in them, and you can just see it. You know what I'm saying?
Though, but
he got it.
Yeah, I mean, he is. You know, he's everything right now. So definitely all NBA. I'm saying first team right now at the absolute floor, third team. I look forward to seeing what the Timberwolves can do.
Yeah, I agree. I think all NBA is without a doubt, not just this year. I think the future. Anthony Edwards right now, no disrespect to Devin Booker. Anthony Edwards looks like he's going to be the best 2 guard in the league. So unless somebody proves otherwise, or unless
Devin Booker, you got to show up. You know what I'm saying? This dude, he ain't even been playing games. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't been playing games. Bradley Beal ain't been playing games.
Are you shocked that Bradley Beal hasn't been playing any games?
Do you think I'm shocked that he hasn't been playing games? Do you think I'm shocked Bradley Beal's been a no-show?
Hold on, Bradley Beal. My God.
No, of course not. I said that to be sarcastic. You know that.
Yeah, that. But Bradley Beal.
But yeah, I think
like I said, I think
Anthony Edwards is positioning himself to be the best 2 guard in the league for quite some time, and I don't think we should be surprised. He will be All NBA this season. I don't know if he'll be first team, but he'll be one of the top 3 All NBA guards in the league. Paul Pierce on his show says Jason Tatum is the best American-born player currently, and I agree. Or Steph Curry. I still got Steph Curry ahead of him, but guys, what y'all think?
Ooh.
What the best American player is? Who?
Paul Pierce
Tatum?
is saying it's Jason Tatum. I still got Steph Curry ahead of him. So
Nah.
and I still got
Yeah.
Kevin Durant ahead of him too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tatum, no.
Like, yeah. I don't agree with that at all. That's nuts.
Yeah, honestly, I would take Anthony Edwards right now over Jason Tatum.
I wouldn't go that far, but
only because Jason Tatum just inconsistent to me. I mean, I feel like Jason Tatum, man, just.
I take Paul Pierce over most of these dudes.
Not right now, though.
I would. Like, I mean, being facetious, but yo, come on. Better than he, it's some young ballers out here. Like, who said that? Paul Pierce said that?
Paul Pierce said that on the show.
I bet you KG was like, man, you out of your ass, man. You full of shit. I know KG probably lit his ass up on that shit.
Hey, I like this one from Pooh. Shout out to Pooh. This is one of my favorite questions of the night too.
Hey Pooh.
What's the future for Tyrese Maxey with Harden gone? He is blown the fuck up. I 1000% agree. I think Tyrese Maxey is a legitimate star, and now he's getting that opportunity to shine. And the future for Tyrese Maxey, he's going to be a multiple-time All-Star in this league, and he's going to be a big part of the future of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I think you can look for Tyrese Maxey to be like a 25 to 30 point a game scorer for them. He like he's next. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at the younger dudes in the league or whatever, and see what their potential is. Tyrese Maxey is definitely next. I can see him putting up 25 to 30 a game for that team and just being that guy.
I gotta agree with everyone else. Him and Embiid. I think they need one more piece. I'm not sure. I mean, I like Tobias Harris. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Maxey and Embiid is where you start, and you might have to reconsider how you want to go about maximizing the potential between those two, because Tyrese Maxey has shown the 76ers that him and Embiid can be players you can build around.
Absolutely. And I think Tobias Harris will be a trade asset that they flip at some point. He is in the final year of his deal.
Yeah.
So
they should have been traded him.
Yeah, but I think the timing still works for them. He's in the last year of his deal, making $30+ million, and with the draft assets, the picks that they got in a Harden trade, now you can actually make a legitimate deal to get whoever's going to be that third guy to go next to Embiid and Maxey, and it'll work.
He should have been gone last year.
It's all right. I think it'll fit better this year when he's gone. They're going to get the right piece there. Daryl Morey is one of the more savvy GMs. Yeah,
they don't have to do that, because I think at this point in time, the year before, you're thinking, okay, is Tyrese Maxey someone we can build around? Because you're like, you see the potential, but potential don't do nothing. You need to actually see it actually come together. So I think now that you should see it come together, I think it's very clear as to what's going to happen. And Morey, being one of the better GMs in the league, will get the right pieces in there to maximize that.
I'm gonna combine these questions from two different gentlemen here because they kind of on the same topic. The first one is Ron. He said, "I'm sure OG will agree with me. I feel LeBron gets no blame for any Lakers losses. He's in year 21, but Anthony Davis had an off game. The media killed him badly after the Kings smashed him." And then D-Man said, "You know what I noticed about LeBron James? Because he's a big name. He's still trying to be Braun of 2015. I think he slows the game down. I think all great players struggle with taking a lesser role." Will Gordon, you're going to start this one off. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, what was Ramon's point? First of all, because
Braun doesn't get any blame.
I was lost because he called me OG again. Like that's like nigga, like, you make me feel like an old nigga every time you call me OG. What was your point,
He said Braun gets none of the blame for these losses.
Braun?
Yeah.
Oh, like in Miami and in Cleveland and those spots.
Yes. Well, but he's saying specifically with the Lakers.
Oh yeah. They never gonna put. Look, nothing's ever gonna be put on LeBron's back. Like that's just the way we gotta deal with the NBA right now. They never gonna put no losses on him. Even if if it's directly because of him, they're not gonna put it on him. If it's on like a bad pass or something, they're not gonna put it on him. If they put it on a like if he kicks out, they're not gonna put it on him. It's not gonna be put on LeBron. So we just gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never gonna be put on LeBron. Now as far as LA goes, eh, eh, like the bubble tournament, eh. I don't really count it because I just don't really respect it. So I'm like, but I don't even know if that was addressing the question that you asked,
Let
but that's
Vern
my
get in there.
feeling.
Vern, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, get in there, Vern. The counselor.
LeBron, he's in the 21st season in the NBA. No player in NBA history did we ever rely upon to carry the team in year 21. Most of them don't even make it to year 21, even the greats. Some we already talked about. I think Eric and I talked about a while ago how Anthony Davis needs to step up and really be the person if the Lakers want to do anything. And I even said that if the Lakers continue to rely upon LeBron James as if this is 2015, they're not going to go anywhere. It's very clear. Anthony Davis is the most inconsistent, quote unquote. I guess I want to be superstar one day and I want to be a role player the next day, and I want to be maybe I'm not even getting dressed as a DMP coach's decision the next. It's just, and that's why I don't know. I don't know if you trade LeBron. I don't know if you trade Anthony Davis, but you need to get someone there that's legitimate if you want LeBron James to play any role. I mean, I feel like if LeBron James is a legit second option, maybe even third option, he can bring you a lot of valuable playing time in that capacity. But if you rely on him to be the man for 82 games and plus the playoffs, that's just crazy. Like that's just
Yeah, I mean it is tough to fault LeBron on some of these losses because LeBron is performing at still such a high level.
yeah.
AD is the one that's a little more inconsistent right now. But I will say we still got to criticize Braun in some capacity because this roster was constructed in the vision of LeBron James. We know his input that he has on the front office and doing what LeBron wants. So their struggles still kind of fall back on some of what LeBron has wanted them.
Like Michael Jordan. He's a terrible GM.
All right, right. But we still can criticize it. There's nothing wrong with criticize. You can still say someone's great and criticize some of the mistakes they made.
A player.
The Lakers, they confide in LeBron before they make any move. Let's not pretend like they don't.
They probably do. He's a sorry GM. They shouldn't. He sucks.
Right, but they do. They do. So let's not try to lighten the blow and make it seem like, well, they shouldn't consult with him, but they do. So there's got to be some sort of blame there. Anthony Davis was his handpicked guy. Anthony Davis has not really performed.
I mean, they got a championship out of him, but I mean, that was a interesting.
Let's be realistic, right? They got, however you feel about it. I know Will and I kind of share the same thoughts. The bubble championship, I don't view it as the greatest accomplishment ever.
I got a question. I just got a question for you right there. Mm-hmm. People say that. This is what people don't understand. Before the bubble started, who was the number one seed in the West? I'll say every time it was the Lakers. So they went all the way through with no home court advantage, which they would have had. No fans cheering for them. It was honestly the most equal, I guess, playing field of any other championship you can ever think about, because there is no home court advantage. You can't say, okay, for 4 games, I'm going to get the crowd behind me on my side. I'm going to use that energy. No, they couldn't do that. And they were the number 1 seed. Now, I can see if the Lakers were like an 8 seed, and you're saying, okay, you weren't that great all year, but as a number 1 seed, if you're going to tell me there is no home court advantage, I think it's a harder road to trek than saying for 4 games of every series, you're going to be at home. You're going to be able to have your home court advantage, fans cheering for you, yada, 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 yada. When the other team is playing, they don't got to worry about the Staples Center going crazy. You don't got to worry about it.
Cool. But I still don't think it was as tough as some people make it seem.
But why not?
Because they were in a control. Hold on. Because the same way that they didn't have home court advantage, they also were playing in a controlled environment. Nobody else had home court advantage. But no underdogs were able to take advantage of that either.
But you know what I'm saying? If I'm the team that has the extra game, you taking away from me. It's not like I'm the underdog.
Fine, but I don't think it was that great of an accomplishment, Vern.
But everyone is literally
they benefited the most from any other team in the league, because that break in the season allowed them to basically recharge their battery and get healthy to the playoffs. AD has never, but AD specifically has never gone through a full season.
But that
4-month layoff, that 4-month layoff benefited him the most.
Everyone's healthy. If everyone look, if they said we're gonna pause NBA, everyone get healthy, we're gonna play on a neutral site. The best team has to win then. The best team has to win. There's nothing else. There's no, this person was injured, or game 7 comes and Staples Center is rocking, so they get the energy to someone put up 50 points.
It's fine. I don't think it was that great of an accomplishment. They won a chip. Nobody's taking away their chip. I just don't think it's the greatest accomplishment.
I'm not saying it's the greatest accomplishment, but you can't.
I don't know if Will tapped out. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. We got a lot of questions to get to as well, though, because we got to get the picks in tonight. What else we got? NBA related. Let me see. Kyrie wants to know here. Turns out the big 3 was all playing the other day. Then Bill didn't play. Now he's out 3 more weeks. KD having bad luck since Warriors in terms of his big 3s. I wouldn't say bad luck. I would say it's just poor management. He's choosing the wrong running mates. But go ahead, Vern.
Once again, dressed on the Sanchez show. We said the injuries are going to stack up with this team. Bill was not a healthy person. He's never played. I think he's played 1 game where I think he played like pretty much the majority. And that's a bit of factor of him always being out. They call him the glass man. You know, you don't just get that name by doing nothing. You get that name by literally sitting on the bench because you're always injured. So KD, like I said, my feelings about KD are kind of like, I never thought that he was a person that could be the best player on the team to win the championship. So I don't really think it matters if Bradley Beal's healthy or not. They're not winning a championship with this team as presently constructed, even if everyone is healthy.
They're not with this current roster. They're not winning a championship. I don't agree. I think KD can be the best player to win a championship. He was the best player on that Warriors team.
Oh, that's not talking about that.
He was the best player on that team.
The best player on the team that already won a championship? Without him? Are you talking about the team that won? Are you talking about the team that won 7-3?
Well, that's another conversation. Your statement was he can't be the best player on a team that won a championship.
What I'm saying is that if you take Kevin Durant,
is that not what you said though?
As your best player, I don't think Kevin Durant was the best player on that Warriors team.
He was the best player on that team.
Not the best player on that team.
He was the best player on that team. Now the team was stacked.
So if you take Steph Curry off that Warriors team, they win the championship? No, they do not.
The team was stacked.
My question is,
he was the best player on the team.
No, he was not.
He was the best player on that team. He was the 2-time MVP of the finals.
Steph Curry allowed that man to run. He allowed that man to run. Okay. So when he went to Brooklyn, how did he get swept? Tell me. Explain it. He was the same player, right? Kevin Durant was the same player.
Nah, he wasn't the same player in Brooklyn. He hasn't been the same player since he left the Warriors.
I'm sorry, because he doesn't have Steph Curry taking attention away from him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's of course. But again, Vern, if you're gonna say something, I'm just responding to the statement you made. The statement was he cannot.
Steph Curry, are you serious?
The statement was he can't be the best player on a team that wins championship, and he was the best player on a team that won 2 championships. He was.
That team was already great. That team was going to win a championship.
All right, but that's not what your statement was.
He was not the best player on the team. Steph
But
Curry.
that wasn't what your statement was. Your statement was he can't be the best player on the team that wins the championship.
He was
Not.
Did
they not win 2 championships?
They did. Steph Curry.
Did he not? Hold on. Was he not voted Finals MVP both those championships?
Because he was Kevin Durant.
All right, hold on. Just come on, man.
Steph Curry was,
we're in the court of public opinion right now, Vern. Come on, Vern.
Steph Curry
right now.
In his show.
Vern, that third year, when Kevin Durant gets hurt and he comes back for that one game and we see the glimpse, like, oh man, this series might be completely different if KD's healthy. Was he not the best player on a team that was literally wins away from a three-peat?
Eric, just answer my question.
I will.
Kevin Durant left.
Yes.
Did they win another championship?
The Warriors, absolutely.
Okay.
You know why I know the Warriors won another championship? Because there's someone out here who made a bet with me who has not fulfilled their part of that bet when I picked the Warriors to win. Yes, there we go. Shout out to D-Man. D-Man said Devin Booker is the best 2 guard. He might be, and that's why I said what I said respectfully. I think Anthony Edwards will surpass Devin Booker. That's what I believe. That's how I worded it.
He was so much respect to Devin Booker. Do we remember what he did in the playoffs last year?
Devin Booker is a really good player, though. Let's not pretend he's not.
I'm not saying that he's not.
But Anthony Edwards hasn't accomplished the things that Devin Booker has accomplished.
Luka took that man's soul last. I mean, am I not? I mean, say someone please remind me because I'm tired of people.
Let me ask you a question.
Regular season NBA games.
No. I'm not talking about regular season. Devin Booker not the best player on a team that not only went to the NBA Finals but was up 2-0 in the NBA Finals over the Milwaukee Bucks? Will, I'm bringing you in right now. I was letting you get yourself set up.
He was.
Okay. Hold on. So let's not act like Devin Booker. We're only talking about him in a regular season capacity. He was the best player on a team that went into the NBA Finals and was up 2-0 in those finals. Again, I think Anthony Edwards will surpass him as the best 2 guard. But Anthony Edwards hasn't done anything in the playoffs yet. So I still got to give a slight nod to Devin Booker.
I agree. I just don't like Devin Booker. I mean, he's a shooter. He's a great shooter, but I don't.
Kyrie, you wrong about that because a couple years ago, Luka in that comeback series they beat the Suns.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Luka did take their soul when the Suns were the defending Western Conference champs.
It's okay, Eric. Some people just don't know what they're talking about. Hey, but look,
I wouldn't say that. Come on.
I know Kyrie educated. Kyrie, hey, don't come for me, Kyrie. Don't come for me. Hey, but look, this is my thing. I'm just, last year, correct. But what I'm saying is that I just don't think Devin Booker's game has evolved.
Okay.
That's just like to me, if a player starts at a certain position, right? 3 or 4 years later, when Devin Booker, I would say this is probably his prime in terms of his age, experience, whatever. To me, his game should be evolving to becoming not just a great shooter, but a dominant player. And I haven't seen that evolution. So to me, it's a bit disappointing.
Okay. Listen, that's a fair take. I just think that I'm not gonna immediately. I'm never of the thinking that I'm just quick to now let somebody else jump over a current player and like, all right, that's it. You got it. Like you got to show a little bit more. You have to give me a little bit more consistency. I think Anthony Edwards has the potential to be great. I think Anthony Edwards by the end of the season could be the best 2 guard in the league. But right now, you still got to give respect to Devin Booker. Kyrie wants to know if you got a drink because he said you said Booker ain't improving. I want to know. Will, let me know. You ready? Give me a thumbs up, Will, if you ready.
No drink today, Kyrie. But hold on. But Kyrie, why do you think Devin Booker is improving as a player? I know that he's a great player, but why do you think he's improving? Like you're saying 3 years ago to now, how has Devin Booker improved as a player? That's just all I want to know. That's just I feel like
you good. You good, Kyrie? Nah. We love the interaction.
Yeah.
You can answer that in the comment section, Kyrie. Vern wants to know how do you see him improving as a player. Will, I see you. I see you getting set up. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know when you're ready because I know I don't know if you're having connection issues. Let's see what other questions. D-Man wants to know. Anyone on here know who's the Lakers' leading scorer? What is giving the keys to AD mean? Well, LeBron's the leading scorer right now, but obviously the plan all along was for AD to kind of take over and Bron kind of fall back into a secondary role. That has not happened. So Bron still being the leading scorer isn't the best thing really for the Lakers. I don't think it is.
No.
Let's see what else we got before we get to some NFL, more NFL stuff, specifically the picks.
People love the NBA, so it's just crazy how much people love the NBA right now in this time of season. It's generally kind of dead. Hey, real quick, I got a question for you, Eric. What you think about the in-season tournament so far?
I don't mind it. I like it. As I've said, I don't think it's anything drastic in terms of changing what we already view.
Right.
These are still regular season games. Ultimately, there'll be a mini tournament in Vegas. I love what Dame Lillard came out and said. He said
Yeah.
this is more for the guys who are, on smaller contracts, for the opportunity to go out there and get some extra money and find ways to, do extra things and showcase their talent. So I'm okay with it from that aspect, and it doesn't change anything. These are games we were going to watch anyway. The only difference is now that they put a nice little design on the court.
Yeah.
Will, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Will. I know Will's getting himself set up. I think he's having some connection issues. Like I said, let me know once you're ready, and I'll bring you on air. Let me see what else. If we missed any other questions, I tried to get to all of them, guys. So if I'm missing one, let me know. Who got a messy question? We might save that for the end because we got the legal expert in here.
Oh man, that Brahman. Hey, boy.
I'm trying to see. I think we got to all these right here. Yeah.
No. Hey, so Kyrie. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna examine Devin Booker a little bit more closely when I can to see if he's really becoming a better passer. But I do understand also that with the roster as constructed, they don't have a lot of pieces. As we said earlier, like if Bradley Beal is not full go, I don't know where they go for scoring outside of KD and Devin Booker. Ross is extremely limited, so we'll see. I'll look into it. We'll see where we are at the end of the season. But hey, Eric, I'm a little upset that I had a parlay beginning of the season for the NBA for unders, and I think I got all of them right except for the Mavericks. I took the Mavericks under, man.
And total wins?
Yeah, man. I had look at this. I had the Wizards under. That's going to cash for show.
Wizards took another loss tonight. I mean,
Of course
as a Knicks fan, these are the nights we love right here. These are the ones.
I had unders for the Pelicans. I have unders for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I had under for the Clippers. But then I added the Mavericks. I don't know why did I add the Mavericks. It was at plus 20.99.
Damn, I hate that I'm gonna say this because I know people gonna take it the wrong way, but give it some time. Kyrie will get upset soon, and it'll fuck up the whole situation. And we know it's only a matter of time before Kyrie's unhappy, and then things start to go left.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But Kyrie, yeah, this was the comment that Vern was referring to. He got better as a passer. I do agree. He's gotten better as a passer and a playmaker since he's come into the league. And I think a little bit of it is unfair. There's been a lot of changing parts around Devin Booker because we got to remember, before Chris Paul got there really wasn't much stability. Then they get Chris Paul. Now Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton gone, and now they reshift their focus around him and KD with a new head coach. So there have been a lot of moving parts there for Devin Booker, who's still very young.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Kyrie, did Clay start the whole fight? And people saying Rudy should have grabbed his teammate, not a Warrior. Thoughts? I'll say this. I don't think Clay started the fight. I think it escalated through the tussle with him and Daniels. Rudy did what he was supposed to. I think Rudy did what anybody should do. Like I'm grabbing the guy. I don't need to grab my teammate. I'm grabbing the guy. But then, Rudy, you can't play the victim and start throwing your hands up when you get choked out either. Like obviously you grab the other team, so somebody gonna grab you.
I got a question. Do you think this had anything to do with the night before between Anthony Edwards and Draymond Green drawn out? Remember, they played back-to-back nights. Mm-hmm. And that's what I thought. I thought this was a little bit of, I'm not saying they came to the game and said we're going to, start a fight, but I think they came to the game and said we're going to be more physical with them because I don't really like the way that game ended last night.
So I think there's some of that, and I think the best reference to use here is sometimes a baseball reference. Like when you play a series against a team and then somebody gets hit, a batter gets hit, and then the next night a pitcher hits somebody. Yeah. Now you're already on edge now. Like I thought yesterday was a little suspect, but now you're gonna hit my batter, so now it's really on. Yeah. So I think it was a little bit of that. I think it was the joint already took place. The Warriors are the older, the older get off my lawn type team.
Yeah,
The Wolves are the young team that want to let you know that we're here and we're ready to play.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I can see that. I can see it carrying over from the night before, but I still like it. I think it's good for the game.
Oh, it's absolutely it was great. You know how many people view that video and people are talking about it?
Yeah, I think it's great for the game. Guys, as always, we get together Friday night. This is the Friday Night Live series brought to you by the Sanchez Show. We are the opinionated ones. Friday night, every Friday night, 9 p.m. Not for what I've been drinking. And then do remember on Sunday, 7 p.m., Trip Young and myself, we get together to recap the week in NFL as well as any other topics that have taken place. We're going to get to the picks now. I'm waiting for Will to join back up. I think he's having some connection issues because he has tried to join a couple times and it's froze on him. But we're going to get to the picks. Last week, like I said, we hit a couple good ones. Our 401k pick hit again. There's only been 1 week this season that the 401k pick did not hit. Other than that, we've been pretty consistent all the way across the board. With that being said, Vern, I'm gonna let you take it away. I'm gonna be honest because I'm an honest man. I had Cincinnati -3.5 yesterday, but that's because I didn't know that Joe Burrow was dealing with a wrist injury.
Well, that's why I say you guys scrapped it. That's why. See, I had the Ravens. So I had Ravens. I took the Ravens money line on FanDuel yesterday. If I had to lean with the spread, I think it did it get to 3.5.
It was at 3.5, maybe 30 minutes before kickoff.
I didn't like 3.5. I like 3 because with the hook, you know how that goes in these games. So that's why I just took the Ravens money line. So to be honest with you, I think we should just quash that because the injury to Joe Burrow changes everything. Because I thought if Joe Burrow would stay in the game, I think Cincinnati wins. So what you think?
I agree. Joe Burrow went out of that game right after throwing a touchdown to Joe Mixon. They had the lead.
I think we got to scrap it. I think I don't think we had complete information to make an informed betting decision on that game.
Yeah, so it's a loss, but it's not really a loss.
Yeah.
Ron, I don't see. You say your last comments must not show. I don't see it. Post it again, and we'll get to it. I'm trying to go back and see if we had overlooked it because the last one I got from you. Hold on, this one. Yeah, why didn't Rudy grab his teammate? And then he said we got some great questions to get to. We just talked about Rudy not grabbing his teammate. I kind of combined it with the other question there from Kyrie. So, but yeah, let's get to the NFL. Which game do you want to start with?
Where we want to go. We can talk about all the double-digit spreads, or
I don't like this week of games. I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like it's a very odd week in terms. Some of these spreads are just really out of whack.
Week.
Yes.
Remember the week that what week was that when San Francisco lost to the Browns? It was all those teams going down. I forgot what week that was, but it reminds me of something similar.
Yeah, it's a lot of these lines are completely out of whack, but this is what we do. We got to pick them anyway. So, which one you want to go with?
Let's go with Miami Raiders. Right now, the line's at 13.5.
That's what I showed as well.
Well, I think we all think Miami's going to win, right?
I think so.
Now, do they cover 13.5? I'm going to go yes, and only because it's not 14.5. I don't want to go above 14.5 with this game. But really, any game, I generally don't bet against 14.5 because back doors are just so easy to make.
Pause. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Dolphins to cover, man. But if it gets to 14.5, I would just, split it and put it on a pair with a parlay with another money line.
I agree. Will, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Will. I'll let you get set up there. Once you're ready, give me a thumbs up. I like Miami as well. Miami, similar to Dallas, is a team that beats up on lesser competition. We also got to remember that the Raiders struggle to get past 17 points a game. That's really kind of their threshold.
Yeah.
We also got to remember, too, that Vegas, though they're feeling good about themselves, they beat the Jets and the Giants the last 2 weeks. So it's not like you've stepped up in competition and you've won some games. Unlike there's a team later on we're going to talk about that I think has been a little bit more impressive the last couple of weeks, which I'm starting to get a little more confidence in. The Raiders, I don't have a lot of confidence in, though. Shout out to Antonio Pierce for the job that he's doing as interim coach there. But I do like the Dolphins at 13.5. 2 touchdowns always seems a little tricky, but I think they run up the score down in Miami, barring some sort of crazy weather scenario, which I have not heard about. I
Right.
think they run up the score there.
Right.
Will, like I said, once you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Will, I see his connection going in and out. Let's see. So yeah, we got that one. Let's go. I want to go next to a team we talked about earlier, Cleveland. They favored by 1.5 over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
This line, I don't understand this line, Vernon. Maybe you could bring some clarity to it because I know Cleveland's defense is really, really good, but you're going back to Dorian Thompson, who didn't look good in his start,
Mhm.
and Pittsburgh continues to find ways to win these type of games.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh minus 1.5. I like Pittsburgh not only to cover, but to possibly win this game. Talk me out of it though.
I can't. I think the only reason the line is like this is because the Browns have shown they have won games without Deshaun Watson. Doesn't mean that they will continue to do so, especially against Mike Tomlin. I think the stat is Mike Tomlin, when rookies play Mike Tomlin straight up, I think they 5-28 in his career. So when we look at that stat, plus the fact of the Cleveland Browns having a lot of offensive lines issues and TJ Watt going crazy, there's just no way I can take the Browns here in the situation. I know it's in Cleveland, but I just don't see it. Steelers been scrappy. They don't need offense to win. I mean, I guess it can't really technically it's an upset, but I wouldn't choose as an upset pick of the week. I feel like it would be too easy. But this is definitely going to be on one of the money line parlays we're going to be putting in this week.
Yeah, I don't have this as a upset special just because the line is so close. This is more to me. This is closer to like a pick 'em than an actual upset. But I agree. I like Pittsburgh in this game a lot. Pittsburgh has found a way to win a lot of these close games. Bears at Detroit.
Yeah.
Now, last week I wasn't sure if Detroit could win that game, more so because I thought it could be a trap for them. I think the path is clear now for Detroit to possibly get to about 12 wins, Vern. Detroit could be like the number 2 seed in the NFC now.
Yeah.
Aside, the schedule tilts in their favor. Aside from that late December game against Dallas, I think they're going to be favored in every game the rest of the season. 7.5. I like Detroit in this spot, but what are you thinking?
7.5. So you notice it opened around 10. And during the line for me, the line moves by more than 2.5 points. I generally jump on the opposite side. It's right there in the middle. I'm gonna go with the Lions here to cover. I generally wouldn't do it in this spot, but I just think Justin Fields is a terrible quarterback, and I think he's gonna turn the ball over one too many times. So I'll take the Lions to cover the 7.5, but I would love to get this number to 6.5 or 7. 7.5, that hook is just tough sometimes.
That's a fair point. I think Detroit on the turf would just be too much for the Bears to handle. And as I said, I thought if they got past last week, there's that opportunity for them to really run the table the rest of the way. So I think it starts now. This might be the first time since the Barry Sanders era that we're interested in watching Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. It's been quite some time.
Well, I think there was one other time when Megatron and Stafford played. But you know what? I don't really remember. I remember there was a game where I wanted to see Megatron and Stafford. I can't remember the exact game, but it's definitely very, very, very rare.
Well, let me know if you're good. I know your connection's been going out. We've been trying to bring you on. Will, can you hear me?
What up?
Can you hear me?
Yo, got me?
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. The Bears at Detroit. What do you like?
Bears at Detroit. Hold on, let me look. The Bears are at Detroit. I got Detroit. I think they've been hot. I think they've been making moves, and I don't think the Bears have enough to make moves. I think Detroit's been doing things. I like Detroit right now.
Will, I'm gonna let you start this next one. Chargers at Green Bay. Chargers is favored by 3. I know you're picking it straight up.
What you think that's going to be?
I mean, I don't know. It's are you still rooting for Staley to get fired, or are you still rooting to try to keep the season alive now that
Oh yeah, I'm unfairly fired, but
I,
that's
I
not
meant to
going
ask
to happen.
I meant to ask you, do you feel like it's a glimmer of hope now that Joe Burrow is out for the season?
Uh, I really don't think that's going to do anything for LA. But I do like LA to win this week against the Packers because I don't like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is Jordan like.
Vern, what
So
you think, Vern?
I'm agreeing with Will, but the stat of the day. Are you guys ready? Stat
yeah,
of the Chargers are 482 and 482 and 11 all time. Herbert is 29 and 29 as a starter since his first start. They have scored 1,502 points and have allowed 1,502 points. So, welcome.
The epitome of mediocre.
Exactly. Welcome to the world. Will,
damn.
I just wanted to give you that little tidbit of a stat of the day. But yeah, Chargers win this game. I think they win it by a touchdown. Jordan Love is just not good. I just think that the Chargers can just outscore them. Like the Packers are going to have a hard time getting above 17. I think the Chargers get to 24-27.
Yeah, I agree. Packers have struggled to score. This is the actual scores in their last 5 games. They scored 13, 17, 10. They scored 20. That was the one game they won. And then they scored 19.
Yeah,
They struggled to score. I think, again, the game they won out of those last 5 games was that game against the Rams when Stafford, I don't think, played that game. So I don't like the Packers at all. I think the Chargers win to then further emphasize Vernon's point, because if they win, they become 5-5, the prototypical mediocre team.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where they'll be.
It's awful.
Shout out to D-Man. We're going to get to that as well. He definitely is, D-Man. He definitely is. Vern, let's get to the next one. You got the hat on. The Giants come to DC this weekend.
Yep. Yeah.
Commander, this line is a little crazy.
It's real crazy.
The Commanders are favored by 8.5, which it sounds fucking ridiculous.
Oh,
But they are.
I still got it as 9.5.
9.5 is even wilder.
Yeah. So look, let me say something. Commanders are going to win this game. Whatever the over is on DeVito passing yards, take it right now. He's going to have a career day. Now, I know his career day might not be 300 yards, but DeVito is going to have a career day. I'm telling y'all, this game is going to be close. Like, we might win by 4. And the reason why is not because we can't score. We just can't stop anybody. Every quarterback that we play, if you look into any analysis, oh, this is the first time in NFL history that, or whatever. Trust me. The Giants are covering this game. DeVito is terrible. They don't miss.
Wow.
The Giants are covering this game.
I think the Giants. Yeah, I agree. I think the Giants cover the game. I got the Commanders to win.
Yeah.
The 8.5 is crazy. The Commanders are not that good to be favored by more than a touchdown against anybody.
Trash.
Will, what you got?
On that game, I got Washington winning, but I don't. What is it? 3 points? Is the spread?
Spread is 8.5.
8.5. God damn.
You can catch a 9.5 on FanDuel.
I'll probably take Washington. I mean, yeah.
I like we all agree. We like Washington to win. We think the Giants keep it competitive.
Giants are starting. Who are they starting at quarterback this week?
They starting get your shine box. Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Get the shine box. I just busting your balls a little bit.
Exactly.
Right? Get here.
Exactly. So I'm starting Washington.
This might be the first. This might be the first time since we started doing 401k pick of the week that I've gone with the same 401k pick of the week in back-to-back weeks. Dallas going to Carolina. Dallas favored by 10.5. It just
Mm.
it just feels like another blowout. Dallas, this is who Dallas is. They will beat the shit out of the bad teams and make everybody think that they're good again. I like Dallas. The 10.5, I still would take the 10.5, Vern, but talk me off the ledge.
I'm gonna talk you right off the ledge right now. This game's gonna be competitive.
Woo.
Let me tell you why.
Shout out to Pool. Pool called it.
And the reason why is because Dallas beats bad teams at home. On the road, they're different. Not only that, they got the Commanders on Thursday night. It's a short week. They're not going to try to absolutely annihilate the Carolina Panthers. They just want to win and get out of the game. And the reason why, even though they don't care about us, they care about the divisional win. And they can't really take no chances with that. I can see them kind of looking past Carolina and looking forward to playing us. And I think if there's any chance that this game get out of hand, I think they kind of dial it back and just get ready for the short week on Thursday night. So Carolina will cover. You could bank it. I'm putting a Carolina cover and a Giants cover in a 2-game parlay and see what we can do.
Hey, good luck with sweating that one out. I like Dallas big time in this one. Carolina's a shit show right now. And again, this is who Dallas is. Dallas will beat the shit out of the bad teams.
At home, Eric.
That's fine. The narrative will be on Monday when Dallas is after they win this game and they're 7-3 and they look impressive in it. And CD Lamb probably has another 150-yard game in this one. Is Dallas?
He's gonna get hits for sure in this game.
Right. Is Dallas a primetime team? Are they back to being a Super Bowl mention?
Of course they play another good team.
Right. They beat up on the bad teams, and then it'll set up the matchup on Thursday against a division rival. Which in that case,
we're going to beat them.
Well, in that case, I'm not gonna lie. I'm speaking ahead. I will take the Commanders in the points because I expect that to be a last-second field goal type game.
So, I think we beat Dallas by a touchdown. I think honestly we're gonna. First of all, we played Dallas well, and I think we're gonna. Like I said, I know we're not gonna have a show next week, so we will beat the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving, even though I don't want to, but we will beat them.
So. I'm taking the points for sure. As we get close, I might feel differently about it, but like I said, I know for a fact already looking ahead, I'm taking the points. The Titans go to Jacksonville, division rival. Will Levis has played good. The Jags are favored by 7. This is one of those lines I was talking about that seems a little tricky because it just feels a little high.
Yeah, it does, man. Jacksonville, man. 7. Did Will Levis just don't? I don't know, Eric. I'm gonna take the Jag. I want to take the Jags money line, but I don't know. I don't know about the 7 points.
The 7 seems a little high. I like the Jags to win, but I am leaning towards the Titans with the points just because, as you mentioned earlier, backdoor covers. This kind of feels like a situation where the Jaguars are up 13 late, and then Will Levis throws a late touchdown to cover.
But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Jags to cover anyway. They can't get embarrassed 2 weeks in a row, can they? If they do,
like I said, I like the Jags to win. The cover, I'm gonna shake you on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shaky on that. Arizona travels to the Texans. Texans favored by 6. There's another one of them tricky lines. I feel like there's a little high for a team that everybody's starting to kind of jump on their bandwagon. Kyler Murray is. We're talking about backdoor covers. I don't think there are very many quarterbacks who gets more backdoor covers than Kyler Murray. They're getting 6 points in this game.
Yeah, and this line started at 4. Now it's up to 6. By game time, might be 6.5. I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover here, and the reason why is because another dude I listened to, Kyler Murray's running ability can keep them in game, can keep the clock moving, can sustain long drives, which will make it harder to, expand on your lead. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals to cover. The Texans got to lose eventually, though. So you know what I'm gonna do? Here we go. You ready?
Ooh. Upset pick of the week.
Here. Upset pick of the week. Cardinals over the Texans. It's a perfect spot for them. They come off an emotional win. Kyler Murray is back. I think he is. I think Kyler Murray knows that his job is likely on the line here this season. The Cardinals are going to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to move forward with him. So yeah, upset pick of the week right here. I think it's a true upset. So I'm going with the Cardinals over the Texans.
I don't blame you. Like I said, when I first saw this line, I thought this is one of those strange lines. I know the Texans have been playing well. I know everything I said earlier about D'Amico Ryans. But again, I don't think the Texans are that good where you could just make them a touchdown favorite over anyone in the league. And Kyler Murray, again, is one of them guys that late game, he makes plays, he runs around. And next thing you know, it's a 2-point game with the Cardinals driving for a game-winning field goal. So I like it. Like I said, if I were taking this, I would definitely take Arizona with the points. If you want an outright winner, I would lean more towards the Texans, but I would not take the Texans -6.
You got to get an upset pick of the week. Somebody going to lose. So there's going to be some.
Well, my upset pick of the week is coming up.
Okay.
This one here is not, though. The Buccaneers at San Fran. San Fran favored by 12. This is you know what this is, Vern. This is the knee-jerk reaction to the 49ers getting healthy last week. Just last week, we can't forget, just last week, they were only favored by 3. And now they're favored by 12 at home against the Buccaneers.
And they're going to beat the shit out of them, too.
Yeah, they are. They are. Still a knee-jerk reaction, but they are.
Yo, they're going to beat the brakes off the Buccaneers, yo.
Baker Mayfield's going to be running for his life. This might be the sack prop game. This is the sack prop thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, look, I'm taking all the points. Give them to me, y'all.
There we go. This is my upset pick of the week because this is the team we talked about earlier. They just fired their offensive coordinator. They've got a lot of
upset pick of the week. You know the Bills going to lose, man. We all know that.
Buffalo's favored by 7.
I don't care. I don't know why Buffalo keep getting favored by these touchdowns.
Right, and that's why I'm taking the Jets. The Jets are going to – I got the Jets to not only cover but to beat them. I just think there's way too much going on in Buffalo right now. This is prime. This is, to me, this prime spot where everyone keeps waiting for Buffalo to get right. Everyone keeps waiting, and it's not going to happen.
I don't get it. This should be 2.5.
Buffalo's not going to get right. The Jets defense is still pretty good. The Jets probably should have won that game last week against Vegas. I like the Jets to not only cover the 7. If you're feeling frisky, I take them to win.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Josh. I think Josh Allen's going to have 3 turnovers in this game.
Yep.
It's going to be ugly. Take the under. Whatever, take the under because even though they're going to be turnovers, the turnovers are going to help the Jets score. It's just going to help Buffalo from scoring. It's going to hold them from scoring. So, yeah, I mean, this is. Aren't there like 5 straight games in a row where they haven't covered? And they keep giving them.
I don't think they've covered since like week 3. So I think they're approaching like 7 straight weeks. Yeah,
longer.
Yeah. And
if it's to me, this is easy money. If you really want to get freaky, this is what you can do. Take Jets plus 10, take the Steelers money line. And take the Giants to cover and tease that up to 10.5. You make some money. For sure.
I think so.
The Jets are going, this game is going to be close.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand this.
What are they doing?
This loyalty towards the Buffalo Bills.
Bro,
the Bills haven't shown anything.
Lost to the Giants. Honestly, that Giants team that played them was the worst Giants team that they have currently right now.
Yeah.
And they should have lost to them.
Yep.
At home. There was 15.5 point favorites in that game.
Yeah. There's that. Seattle at the Rams. Seattle, this is a pick 'em. Seattle is favored by 0.5 point. So this is a pick 'em. You can go, you're basically picking who you like to win this game.
Is Stafford playing?
Last I saw, and I was just checking here, I opened up the app just to double check. When I saw earlier, Stafford was playing, and as I look at the injury report, I do not show him as listed.
If he's playing, they're going to win. Geno Smith is not going to win this game.
Geno has not looked good at all.
Geno should have lost. The only reason Geno won last week is because Jack Del Rio can't coach anything.
I'm leaning towards Seattle.
Taking the Rams, all right.
Just because if you're the Rams, if you're Sean McVay, let's be realistic, right? You're 3-6. You ain't got much to play for. You're not making the playoffs. We know obviously you're not competing in the division.
That's fair.
If you're Sean McVay, what are we really rolling out here? Like a win makes you what 4-6, and you're not any closer to getting the future quarterback that you need. I really think this is the time where the Rams are going to start to scale back. I would not be surprised if we get a bogus injury on the day of the game and Stafford now gets pulled after the first quarter and it's like, oh, he's dealing with some shoulder tightness. He's not feeling 100%. And Sean McVay starts to roll this thing back. I think, and he's not going to be the only one. I think several teams we're going to start to see low-key start to tank a little bit, unintentionally tank. Because, again, you're not playing – you're 3-6. You're not competing for the division. You're not making the playoffs. What are you going out there trying out veterans trying to win these meaningless games for?
Because people have incentives on their contract.
Well, that's even more reason.
We don't know who, but people get those milestones, right. X, Y, and Z.
Right, but I think that's something you start to worry about once you get into like late December, when you got like 4 or 5 games left, and it's like, yo, let's make sure we get that guy that incentive. I think if you're the Rams, I don't see it. I don't see the point in having Stafford and Cooper Kupp and all these guys out there for extended snaps.
Geno's still going to throw it away.
Yeah, he probably might, but I'll take them. They got more to play for. It also sets up. They have a big showdown next week against the 49ers. So I think both of them win, get to 7-3, and then set up the marquee matchup, which I think is a Sunday night game.
I should be with you because that was my NFC West pick.
That was mine too.
With Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should. My NFC North pick is absolutely flaming out with the Packers. My gosh, but
yeah, it's over there. It's over there. But no, I agree. I had Seattle as well. Geno has just played really poorly. The rest of that team is good, but Geno has not played well. This is a game I like a little bit. Denver hosting the Vikings. Denver's favored by 2.5. You and I talked about this last week. Denver's defense. You were early to the party because you said the defense was better than people thought, and then they end up giving up the 70 points to Miami. But since then, they have been really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know, man. That was
since then.
Eric said, I think Miami's gonna blow them out. I said, nah, the defense is gonna be pretty decent. Boy.
but since that week, they actually have been pretty good.
Yes,
and you and I, it was one of our better wins last week because we both liked them not only to cover, but we thought they could be frisky enough to win that game. They did. And then they showed the graphic during the Monday night game that since the 70-point loss, they had only been giving up 15 points a game.
That's why the Broncos are currently underrated in every game because the only thing people can hear is 70 points, 70 points. And that's why I'm taking the Broncos and the points here.
I agree. I think this is one of the easier picks of the week.
Yeah.
You take the Broncos at home. Josh Dobbs, there's a lot of hype around Josh Dobbs. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the week that it comes back down to reality. There's a reason why he was a career backup quarterback. Yeah.
You give me an underrated team and an overrated team. You give me the underrated team at home with under a field goal. I got to take that every time.
I like Denver, man.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
I think they might make a couple tickets for me this week.
And Russell Wilson has been playing. Like, he has more touchdowns now than he had all last year. I think things are finally moving. Things are finally clicking. And I can see this being one of those games people can say, hey, the Bronco fans might say, okay, maybe we can breathe a little bit and we might have a quarterback for next year.
That's a fact. And then the Monday night game, the best game of the week, the trickiest game to pick, I think. Philly going to Kansas City. It is tricky because historically, Mahomes is damn near unbeatable in Arrowhead.
Exactly.
But I don't think Kansas City's right now, man.
Mahomes under field goal. I'm taking it every day, and I'm going to go to sleep. Wake up to my money, baby.
I don't want to bet against Mahomes. I will not bet against Mahomes. But I just want to put the disclaimer out there.
You've been looking right either. I mean, dog, the off a bye, Andy Reid's record off a bye is crazy.
That is true.
I don't have the exact stats, but it's like
it's historically, I think, the best ever. Historically,
pristine. Like, I don't. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. I mean,
I'm taking Kansas City, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I just thought about it. I would like to see what the record is when Super Bowl opponents play the following season in the regular season.
mhm.
Does
Yeah,
the losing team get back, or does the winning team normally
no.
kind of hold serve? But
I would love to see that one, but Chiefs, I don't know. Like I said, anytime I get my homes on the field goal is fine. Now this is 3.5. I might reconsider, but at 2.5, come on now. His defense is so good. See, it's not like we got to rely on Mahomes anymore. You don't got to rely on Mahomes.
right. The defense is very good.
The defense is really good. Their offensive line is second to none. You
There's
know?
gonna be. I think there's gonna be this. This is gonna for their defense. It's gonna be their best test because their defense has been really good. Their defense has not given up more than 21 points in any game this year. But
Yeah.
we do know in that Super Bowl, the Eagles were marching up and down the field on them. The defense had a couple stops, but for the most part, the Eagles' offense marched up and down the field.
Their defense this season has looked better than the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if it's scheme or what, but their defense looks legit. Also, my 401k pick of the week is the Raiders. I didn't say which one was the 401k, but
The Raiders?
I mean the Raiders game, the Dolphins, of course. But
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
But I didn't see you drink anything tonight.
Oh, let me tell you something. If I picked the Raiders, boy, I just
We lost. We love to keep track of trends. We're gonna have to keep track of Will Gordon because this is the second straight week that we lost him.
Yo, I know, and it's 10:30. We right on time, man.
We perfect timing. Vern, give me a final thought before we get out of here.
Oh, hold on. We're supposed to do the little Cassie thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My fault. Shout out to Pooh. My fault, Pooh.
And then what's your kind brought it up too? D-Man.
Yeah. A couple people brought it up. So I'm gonna bring up the question. Where we at? I got you, Pooh, right here. Pooh wants to know, can I do my normal messy shit? Which are quick thoughts on Puffy Cassie? Yeah, Vern.
So I'm gonna put my legal hat on just briefly.
Okay.
I don't like to do it, but I will in this situation. And I wanted to tell y'all in legal language, he's cooked. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of things that are alleged. First, it's a 35-page complaint. Now, just for the people to understand what's going on here, this is a civil complaint, not criminal charges. Vastly different. The rules are different. What you needed to prove the case different. Okay, so we're not looking at beyond a reasonable doubt here.
Right.
We're looking at what they call preponderance of the evidence, or just more than likely. Okay. Now, the things that are alleged here were things that was already verified. Like the dude that she was talking to, at least had interest, his car was set on fire. We all know that. Now, whether or not, what the evidence is going to show that, was it him? That's another question. But remember, he was under contract for 10 albums. She's only put out one. So that relationship that they had, that, that dominant, controlling relationship. And Diddy's also has a lot of weird things going on with him and his with him and his career. I mean, this complaint from a legal standpoint, if I was reading this and I'm his attorney, I'm saying you need to settle tomorrow. Because the things that are alleged here could lead to criminal charges.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get past what they call the discovery stage, so at this point in time, it's a complaint, right? And they have to answer to this complaint within a certain amount of time. And when they answer to this complaint, okay, that's when the legal case gets started. But then they get to ask for this thing, what they call formal discovery. And when you ask for formal discovery, you got to produce it. So the things that they're going to be asking for, it's going to be produced. And a lot of times that information leads to, or can lead to, potential criminal charges going down the road. So I think they settle. But the issue is, how did we even get here? Like, what happened between Cassie and Diddy that brought the lawsuit up? Because obviously this is all, a lot of these allegations are, at least a decade old.
Right.
So it's like, what happened? What changed? It seemed like there was at least an 8-figure settlement, or prior to this filing, that's being alleged. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but he's done. So what are they accused of? Oh,
Yeah, I'm about to put that up there. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's okay. I'll be very brief. So I'm looking at the complaint right now. I'll just read off like 3 or 4 things. Rape.
Yeah, I would say rape is like at the top of that.
Yeah. Punching, beating her up,
Physical abuse, yeah.
car, forcing her to engage in sexual acts with other people while they was on tour. And he was just saying like, I'm not sure if she wasn't producing albums or he was forcing her to do things and she wasn't. I'm not sure what that dynamic or that relationship was, but it seemed like she was indebted to him per the contract that they signed, and which caused a lot of, pretty much a toxic situation. But the thing that he's accused of is going to be, yes, she's definitely telling the truth. Because I said some of these things were already identifiable. The dude's car being set on fire, that was something that people were aware of. We just didn't know who it was linked to. But now it's like, okay, here we are. Now the situation is like I said, I don't know why it's coming out now, but remember, this is not beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
This is about money. This is about
that's exactly what this is about. And now I'm not saying that to absolve Puff and say, oh, he didn't do these things. I don't know. I wasn't there. Do I think there's some truth to this? Hell yeah, there's some truth to it.
Absolutely.
But as you mentioned, for this to come out 10 years later in a civil suit,
yeah,
we know what the motive is.
I think she wanted to get out the contract. And Puff was like, you owe me 9 more CDs, 9 more albums. Oh, okay, really? All right, well.
Well, there's been bad blood between them because remember when she left Puff for the gentleman that she's with now,
yeah,
they kind of flaunted it in Puff's face because I believe that guy was like their personal trainer. So this was somebody who was close to them that she ended up leaving Puff for. And so it was kind of flaunted in his face, like, I left you for him. So there was always going to be some animosity there. This ultimately comes down to the money. I'm not saying that Puff didn't do these things. I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished for the things he did. Rape is serious allegation. Physical abuse is serious allegations. But we know what this comes down to. This is going to get settled out of court, Bernie. You know that.
Oh,
because
it has no choice.
The same way that this doesn't look good for Puff. I'm sure if this goes to court, there are some things that are going to come out that Cassie is not going to want to see the light of day.
Oh, of course, on both sides. That's
on both sides.
I think this is more of Cassie trying to get Diddy's attention.
Right.
What happened is their PR teams will get together. Everything will hush down. It'll quiet down. They'll settle, wrap it under seal, and then everyone will move on with their lives. Because, like I said, all they're waiting for is for the next big thing to happen, and then next thing you know, this thing will go away. Because to me, as an attorney, it's always like, I see people with charge rape every day, right? And if someone truly raped you, and I always tell this, and I do a part if I offend anybody, why don't you go to the police for them to investigate it? Because if the police investigate, if you're saying you're raped and the police investigate the case, that person is likely going to go to jail. And that's generally where people want the individuals who raped them to go. Right. Because most people, if you're getting raped, you can't just sue that person, right? You got to go to the police. Like the average person on the street doesn't have multi-million dollars, right? So to me, it's like, why haven't you gone to why didn't you just say, you know what, I'm gonna go to the police and then bring the lawsuit, or I'm bringing a lawsuit at the same time I'm going to the police? Because my understanding is they said NYPD is not going to get involved. This makes no sense to me.
Yeah, so I just think, like I said, ultimately it's gonna get settled out. Shout out to Kavon. Yeah, Gene Deal. I mean, shout out to Gene. Gene's the homie. If y'all haven't already, we had him on a Sunday live that we did, I think, about a month ago. It's still up on Real Fans Real Talk. But I think it ultimately gets settled. Diddy does have the money to continue to fight this.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna want to continue to fight this in the court of public opinion, though.
Right.
He's gonna want it to go away as quickly as possible. And I think Cassie as well, because again, as you mentioned, Cassie has 2 kids. She has a family now. She's moved on with her life. There's certain details of this case that she is not gonna want to come out.
No.
So I think ultimately that's how it gets settled, behind closed doors, with the NDA and a check being cut.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No book, no nothing like that, no interviews. And
right. One nice large check. Move on with your life. I'm moving on with mine. That's what's gonna end up happening. Any other thoughts, Vern, before we wrap up the night?
Hey, look, man, I want to bring back to the women's college basketball game, and not in the WNBA, but with the college, man. I don't know if y'all looking, but South Carolina The freshman from South Carolina. Oh my goodness. Somebody I was on Twitter is like a female Kyrie Irving. And
Yeah, shorty is nice.
I was like, I don't even know. She's like her own thing. Like young. I was just like, what is going on? You got Juju going crazy. Clayton Clark lost. UConn. I mean, I think, man, like, I know people always get down on women's game, but I feel like the college game right now in women's college basketball is really setting up the WNBA for the future. You really got people in there, and like I said, they are mimicking the athletic abilities that we like to see on the NBA scale. Like we like to see people getting crossed up, no behind them. And what's happening, we are seeing people getting crossed up, going on the court, moving like when I'm looking at Juju and Clay, I'm like, oh, these youngers is legit. Like they have the moves, they have the handles. They're not just like big, slow bodies,
right?
Just throwing up a rebound, right? They're actually skilled. So, man, I just want to say tune in to the WNBA this year. I'm definitely going to try to catch a few games. I really want to go down to South Carolina and watch them play UConn in February. I'm thinking about possibly taking that trip, but it is very expensive. Oh my gosh. I think it's like $600, like crazy, like insane. So yeah, that's all I want to do from my last word.
That's a great point. The game is evolving, as we talked about last week. These young women, man, the way that they're now elevating their game is something special, man. So we got to keep an eye on that. Again, shout out to all of the supporters and all the comments. We appreciate you guys. You could be anywhere in the world on a Friday night. You're rocking with us. We're gonna skip next week. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving on Thursday, so I don't want to force an episode on Friday because I know most people will be out of town. I'm sure you have plans, Burns. I have plans as well to be with family. So we'll skip next week. We'll get back to it. I'll keep you posted because I might do an early live that Sunday and maybe try to get some picks in before the game starts.
I'll be around. Hey, but Eric, real quick though, we go ahead. Look, this is what we gotta do. FanDuel just called me. They said next week Will Gordon to finish the show. They got Will Gordon right now to finish the show at next week. They got him to finish the show at plus 250. And I want to know if we're gonna put a line down on it.
I like that one. We're gonna add that to the show. Plus two. Write that down. Plus 250. Will Gordon to finish the next show.
Will Gordon finish the show next week.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good right now. And that's the early line. That's the early line right now. Plus 250.
Get that thing down.
Right. But yeah, we gonna get together. Like I said, we'll skip next week. I'll try to get a live done before the games next week though. So it might be an abbreviated live where we can just get some quick picks that we really like.
9.5 versus Cowboys by Thursday Thanksgiving. That's an early look ahead line.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll be in touch with you because maybe, like I said, maybe you could record the ones you like for Thanksgiving Day. I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Shout out to A-Love on that. We appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a safe holiday, man. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks, man. For my brother Vernon Brown Lee, I am Eric Sanchez, and Will Gordon. He was with us.
Who was not
true. Plus 250 2 weeks from now. Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy your night, and we are out of here.
Oh, yeah.